press record. All right. So first we have, y'all, this is going to be kind of, try to be as organized as possible, but there will be very informal. We really want you to walk away with some understanding of what's happening. So don't worry so much about the structure of all of it, and just get what you need to be so that you can be as comfortable as possible on this trip.
Okay.
So, first, I want to just thank Miss Bonin. She has been instrumental in kind of keeping things moving forward, and talking with me, getting me thinking about things. So at any time, at this time, I really want to say thank you to Ms. Bonin. This is a different kind of trip. We've never done it this way before. And we've been working a lot behind the scenes. There's a lot of effort that she's put in already up until this point to get to what I think is going to be a very successful trip. So really, I want to just take some time and thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. And so I'm going to, this is just a small group of us here. So I think I just want to keep it simple, but we're going to probably add some things that at any time Ms. Bonin chime in, just at any time to share information that you think needs to be shared. Somebody's opening my door. But I want to talk about the itinerary of the trip. And then I want to share with you guys the PowerPoint that the students are going to see on Wednesday, get some feedback from you. We can make changes here today on things that you think we may need to talk about. We want to talk a little bit about chaperone expectations. And then I want to spend some time looking at that walking tour that you've gotten, clicking on, sharing my screen, talking about it. Maybe there's some changes that we need to get into. Come in, open. So, okay, so first let's look at the itinerary for the day. Yes. Oh yeah, hold on, it's my substitute, hold on, just a second. Let me pull the itinerary up, and maybe Ms. Bonin, you could talk a little bit about it while come on in. No, just a few minutes, yeah. Okay, let's get it to where you can just see. Come in. Oh, come in. Yeah. Here you go. That's what we got. I'm gonna just give me 1 second. And so this is the starting itinerary.
Okay.
All right, so here is our itinerary. This is a very, very high, elevated itinerary. We're going to get more to details. So every chaperone has been assigned a bus or a group, and we'll get into which bus or group you've been assigned to today. And so we're all riding together. We're really gonna leave campus at 7:30. That is our goal. We're telling the students 7 o'clock is our dismissal, our departure time, but we can safely get where we need to get if we leave at 7:30. But when we went to Austin, we didn't have any late students. Every chaperone and all students were on time. And I think that we needed that cushion. So it was very helpful. So just for we're gonna arrive, the building will open at 6:30 a.m. on Friday. You can get there early, but the building won't be open. Even the teachers won't be able to get in before 6:30. And so everyone, chaperones included, should arrive. You can't see the itinerary.
Yes, Ms. Holmes. We still just see the initial screen.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Lord.
It's the basic itinerary, I think, that I see.
Yeah, just the same. Do y'all see?
There you go. Now it's more detailed.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Now we see it. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I was wondering why y'all weren't talking about it. I was like, oh. So, okay, so this is it's still kind of basic. So we're gonna dig into this a little bit more today. I think in the after we met with the teachers this morning, and so we're gonna write it out a little bit more detailed. So everybody arrives at 6:30, doors open at 6:30, and the chaperones, you will report to room 213. Chaperones will report to room 213. If you're an experienced chaperone, it is a room in the Spanish hallway. We do have one chaperone who won't be meeting us who's actually lives in San Antonio, who's gonna be meeting.
Well, I live in San Marcos, but
San
yeah,
Marcos.
I'll be meeting you in Luling.
Okay, yes, we'll be meeting us in Luling. So, but are you right? Are you gonna continue? Are you gonna drive with us?
Because of the fact that Fiesta is going on and it's going to be just horrible to find parking places, I would rather ride with the bus, leave my car at the Buc-ee's.
All right, that works then.
Okay.
That works.
Okay.
Good deal.
And what's your ETA to be at Buc-ee's?
I have to push that down. We are going, I don't know. I will have to
Okay.
give that to you specifically. I think it takes us about an hour and a half to get to Buc-ee's.
Oh,
So we
really?
leave at 7:30. We leave at 7:30. We can talk about that.
Yeah, because I was gonna say 2 hours.
Maybe 2 hours. Yeah, maybe 2 hours.
Okay, and I'll just be there early and wait.
Mm-hmm. You can be a benefit to us because you can tell them we're close. We're close.
Okay. Okay.
So we're going to leave campus at 7:30. I think that will be an exact 7:30. An hour is plenty of time. What we are going to do is at 6:30, chaperones report to room 213. We're going to give you some physical copies of things that you're going to see today, but hopefully we can not have to answer so many questions that morning because we're going to have those questions answered today and throughout the week. And I would like for you guys to be able to go to the cafeteria this time, and your students will be arriving and seating in their groups when they come into the cafeteria at 6:30. And so at 7, once we get settled in, everybody's checked in, we've kind of had our little bit of time to talk. We're going to all report to the cafeteria at 7 o'clock, chaperones, to meet their students. And so that morning, I'm going to give you a little rundown. Every student is going to have a student packet, okay? And so in the morning, when we arrive, go to the cafeteria at 7 o'clock. The goal is to fill out the information sheet that morning. And that's to meet your students, to talk to them about who you are, your day, and the information sheet, the first page will say something like, my chaperone's name is blank. My partner, my walking partner is going to be blank. They will need to pick a partner within their group. It's going to have some things. I think, Sarah, did we decide on whether we're going to give the student that's a chaperone choice, whether you want to give the students your number, your cell phone number.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Yes, that could be a chaperone choice.
Mhm.
I suggested if you feel comfortable with that.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
an add of safety and safety for some reason if you get separated.
Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen because I think I'm sharing the screen. Make sure. Okay. So page 1 of the student packet will have an information sheet. It will have a place for your chaperone's name, your chaperone's number, who is my group member, and any group members' numbers that I need. Some students will not have cell phones, and that's okay. But the ones that do, we can get that information from them. Mm-hmm. So at 7 o'clock a.m., chaperones will report to the cafeteria. So we need you here at 6:30 so that we can all collectively go to the cafeteria at the same time. And you'll have about 15 minutes with your group, just introducing yourself, getting to see them before. And this time we're going to try to have them load with you to the buses. So we'll say, okay, group 1, go to the bus. Group 2, go to the bus. Group 3, go to the bus.
Will someone take my group?
Yes, we'll take your group. We'll definitely take your group. I'll assign a teacher to your group because we have 4 buses and we have 2 extra staff members. So one will be yours.
Okay. Till I meet.
Yeah. You will have, I don't know, I did not bring it in here, but every chaperone will have a sign of with like a laminated sign with a big number, yellow sign with green letters that says their group number. And so each student is assigned a small group. And so let me go ahead and just skip to that piece here.
Okay.
On who's in your groups. Can you, y'all let me know, Sarah, if I'm not sharing. I'm trying to share my actual screen this time. Okay. So what I'm going to look at now is the group list. We don't typically share the whole list in advance, but we're sharing it here just because of the uniqueness of the situation going into San Antonio. So we have 4 buses, if you can see at the bottom of my screen, bus 1, bus 2, bus 3, and bus 4. And each bus will have a teacher. Some buses will have 2 teachers on there. And if you notice, for instance, Miss Debbie is group 1 on bus 1. Miss Anderson, group 2 on bus 2. Asawa, group 3, I'm sorry, group 2 on bus 1. Group 3, group 4. Miss Ayton, you're Miss O'Brien, you're on group Miss 4, Miss Ayton.
Okay. Yes.
You're on
actually,
bus 1.
It's actually Doolittle, but that's okay.
Yeah, okay, Doolittle, that's right.
That's
You're on bus 1.
Okay.
Miss Bott is group 5, also on bus 1. And group 6, Bola, is also on bus 1. So right now we have 6 groups, roughly 7 students per group. And this is, we'll get to that in a little bit, but 7 students per group. Miss Doolittle, you had 8 because you're twins, but I'm still working on trying to find, get that down to 7. I think we have a place where I had a kid who's on the list that's not here.
Okay.
So 7 students in each group. So each chaperone has a group. So bus 1 has 6 groups. So for instance, at 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:15, chaperones are meeting their students. 7:15, we're gonna release group 1 to bus 1. We're gonna release group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, and group 6. So those chaperones will ride the bus that their students are assigned to. The big debate is, do we have to sit with the members of our group? They do not have to sit within these lines. They can sit with anyone on their bus. Okay, that's something that we're going to encourage them. Give me a second, see you, Miss Lee. I gotta let's see, unblur. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I don't know. You need to pop. Oh, I forgot to invite you. But Miss Lee is here. You can't see her yet. She just wanted to say hello. Miss Lee is also working diligently and make sure we're organized. She's very experienced on this trip. So thank you. She's up in. Might come back a little.
Okay, if you want to send me an invite.
Yeah, okay, there we go. There we go. I'm gonna do that. So each bus has a group. So group 1 through 6 is on bus 2. Group 7 through 12 is on bus 2. I'm just saying all kinds of crazy. Bonin, Kondalu, Kola, Agrawal, Moreno, and Mukavili are on bus 2. Bus 3, O'Brien, Patel, Hopuri, Portillo, Stanley, Subramanian, bus 3. Bus 4, Thara, Thata, Vadakan, Zhao, Chi, and that's it. So that's what we're currently having. We might, I can't remember which one. We'll figure that out at the end, Sarah. If you look at what I had, who we're missing. So every chaperone is assigned a bus. All right.
Okay.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
can I ask a question now or it's in
Yes,
the end?
I prefer actually for you guys to just come in and if it's getting off fast, we'll get back. That's okay. Ask your question.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
good.
ask
It's good.
Oh, I can ask now?
Yes, please do.
Oh, okay. So there will be 6 group per bus. So is there any chaperone distribution, like 2 chaperones in the front, 2 chaperones in the back, something like that? Or did we just, decide there and then?
Great question. So we have never distributed ourselves on the bus. I have had parents want to sit with their students, their child. But typically the chaperones and the teachers sit at the front of the bus and the kids sit in the back, and we do not assign seats on the bus. So they don't have to sit at with their group. So once they're on the bus, it really is the chaperone. Like you can actually take a nap.
Okay.
I mean, we kind of, our kids, and maybe I've been spoiled, but we have just really not had a lot of bus issues. I mean, I've taken so many trips with the kids. That's not our time where they're acting crazy and wild and running around. If that happens, the teacher will handle it on the bus.
Okay.
So the
And-
teachers handle bus behavior.
Okay.
But chaperones can sit with their kid. It's okay.
I have seen that happen. Yes, I don't know what the kids feel about it, but
Yeah.
Okay.
If I could just chime in, this will be my third field experience with this particular field trip to San Antonio, and it is so fun and exciting, and I think this year is going to be great. Typically with the buses is the chaperones typically sit in the front of the bus and the kids sit in the back, and that gives us time to kind of have those conversations, answer questions. We usually do a roll call to make sure that all the students are actually on the bus. And then we get going. And then like she'll go into that later, but when we get to the Buc-ee's, we usually, assign everyone a time to report back to the chaperone. And then again, we do another count when we get back on the bus. So, but we don't really need to do much chaperoning on the actual bus because everyone seems to be just talking and.
yeah.
That sounds good. And are we going to get, each chaperone will get a list of their group kids, name and things like that?
Yes. So
Okay.
the name of your group will be on the sign, your sign that you get.
Okay.
So as you're carrying around the sign, it's one thing you keep, it'll be on there. It'll be in your packet that you get as well.
Okay, thank you.
And this trip, we're going to add name tags to students. So I meant to say that, we're going to ask them not to put that on until we get off the bus.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
I have a logistics question for for departing the school. Given that we are collecting students from all over the district down there, is there going to be an opportunity to run all of these kids and all of us through the restroom before we get them on the bus?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Do you mean that in the morning at
In the morning before we get at the school before we get
yes.
on? I mean, because some of us are going to be driving 30 or 40 minutes from our homes to the
Yes.
school before we even get there.
Yes. So from 6:30 to 7. So what's new? Honestly, when we went to Austin, they really got on the bus without us, and the chaperones kind of got on. The only reason we're kind of doing it differently this year is because of that walking tour piece. We wanted you guys to have a time to talk with them before they got on the bus. But the teachers in the morning are taking attendance, and kids are walking all around the building going to the restroom. That's basically the only things that they're doing in the morning, taking attendance and making sure they go to the restroom. And so we will be kind of far away from that, so you won't feel that. The kids are going to be in the cafeteria, and we're going to be in 213. So you won't see all that movement. But yes, they will use the restroom. You will have the chance to use the restroom. The building is open and available to us.
Thank you. It sounds like such a crazy question, but I mean, some of us have 30 or 40 minutes before we even get to the schools. So.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions about buses, loading?
No.
Okay. And so now we're on the trip, and we have arrived at Buc-ee's in Luling. And as Ms. Bonin mentioned, just like you get on by group number, you will get off by group number. And sometimes I will say this, sometimes each teacher does handle things a little bit differently in terms of the unloading and loading, but I'm really encouraging teachers to wait for the chaperone until the chaperone is ready, and then say, okay, it doesn't have to be in order, but maybe bus group 3 gets off the bus first, that's fine. But wait until they're with their group. And so get off the bus with your group, walk through the parking lot with your group. Now, when you're in Buc-ee's, you do not have to stay exactly with your group. That's I don't even know how anybody would do that. That would just give me gray hair. So what they typically do is they get in and they just scatter. The kids scatter. That's at Buc-ee's is an experience. It's hard to believe, really. Some of our students never been to Buc-ee's. It's a part of the Texas culture. Okay, so Buc-ee's is an intentional stop. So we let them kind of go free. in there and purchase. And it's usually, I think 20 minutes is short. It's a restroom break and it's pick up a snack. They can, so I'm going to go through the PowerPoint to tell you what they can and cannot buy at Buc-ee's. But there are rules about what they can't buy. If a student in your group has special dietary needs, those are the only ones that can use the little order things from Buc-ee's. But everybody else is grab and go. You can pick up a sandwich, but you can't go to the kiosk and order a sandwich. And you can't buy things without closed twist trunks. Anything you want to add, Sarah, about Buc-ee's?
Nope.
No, I think you about covered it.
Okay, so and that's a short stop. It's fun. It's another restroom break. And so now we're back on the bus. We've taken attendance. We're getting back on as a group. Usually, I meant to say at the end of the Buc-ee's stop, the chaperones are standing somewhere around kind of where they drop the kids off with their signs, and they're getting their kids. And once they have their kids, they go back to the bus. Okay, so you know that's how we do that. So when they're in Buc-ee's, they're free. They can talk to kids on other buses. They can do whatever. It's so far, you know, knock on wood, it's been really, kids have been able to do that in quick timing. Buc-ee's is amazing. They can get 200 people in and out 20 minutes. And so this is where we're getting into the itinerary part. Buses 1 and 2 are going to start, they're going to separate when we get to the Alamo. So bus 1 and 2 will start at the Alamo. Groups 1 through 12. Groups 1 through 12, you're starting your day at the Alamo, Adebayi, Anderson, Asawa, Ayton, Bott, Bola, Bonin, Kandalu, Kola, Agrawal, Moreno, and Mukavili. You're starting your day at the Alamo, okay? And we'll go through what that means in a little bit. And then the remaining buses, bus 3 and 4, groups 13 through 23, O'Brien, Patel, Potpourri, Portillo, Stanley, Supermanian, and Thara, Thauta, Batakan, Zhao, Chi. You're going to start your day at the Historic Market Square, which is El Mercado. And so this is where it's going to be different. What I think maybe this is, let me just walk through this. You're going to spend about, I'm chunking the day into 4 pieces, okay? Essentially, I want you to think of it like this. There are 4 components to this experience. We are going to be in that 1 mile area for 5 hours, and we're chunking into the 4 pieces. Piece 1 is the Alamo. That's an enclosed space. We're going to be within the Alamo. There's a lesson for them to do within the Alamo that will be in their packets. This is very typical kids of touring the Alamo. Even with it being Fiesta, it will be more lively. There will be maybe a few more people there. We might hear some music playing, but we're in an enclosed space, and so it's a lot easier to kind of move around and manage. And then the second piece is lunch. We're going to have lunch in Milam Park. Everybody will have lunch there. That's another, it's a park. We're all there. So your kids may play with kids outside of their bus or outside of their group, but we're all going to be kind of trickling in and having kind of a staggered lunch. But that's still, you're in one space for about 45 minutes to an hour. So that's another chunk of the time. And then there's a third chunk of time where you're in the enclosed El Mercado, Historic Market Square. We said we're going to play it by ear for the Historic Market Square to see if we're going to, in the past, like Ms. Bonner said, her 3rd year, she's done this 3 times. We've had the Mercado to ourselves. So you can kind of get into the Mercado and let the kids just go and tell them to meet back up with you, like at Buc-ee's. Tell them to meet back up with you at the end of a certain time frame. We may still be able to do that, but we're going to have to scope this place out and see what the crowd is looking like and make a game time decision on that. Okay.
If I can just interrupt you for a second, Kamala, I can let you know that they are expecting big crowds. And
Yeah.
Friday is the Battle of Flowers parade, which is the biggest parade, the oldest parade. And they're letting school kids out. Schools will not be tenants. They let businesses out. So it's going to be packed.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Lots and lots of people.
Yes. So yeah, so I guess we'll have to see what
And
that
a
looks
lot of
like.
people celebrating, if you
Yeah.
catch my drift.
Yeah.
So So it's gonna be a little bit tougher, I think, at the old Market Square.
Okay, yeah, so we might, if we get there and we feel like it's best for the kids to stay within their group of 7 and just walk together, I think we'll make that call. We'll know for sure. We feel like right now we're leaning towards that, but we don't want to force it. If we get there and it kind of feels like, yes, it's more lively, yes, it's more people, but maybe our kids can handle it. And so we wanted to leave that up to our sites once we get there to make a final decision on that. But yes, we do feel like we're most likely going to be walking around the El Mercado as a group.
Okay.
Okay.
And lunch is catered by Mi Tierra?
Yes, and so that's the I didn't say the park. So what it is lunch is the same for every student. They've already know they know it's cheese quesadilla, beans, rice, and a Sprite. Lunch will be in front of the Mi Tierra. We've kind of done a lot of different things. The last thing was that lunch will be out on a table. They're going to kind of bring them in as they get ready, as the lunches get made. They're going to bring them to the table outside. Our groups will go up, pick up their one bag. Everything will be in one bag. And then they walk it to Millen Park to eat with their group. So group 3 may arrive at lunch at 12:30 and they'll walk at 1 o'clock and they'll walk to the park to sit and play and eat their lunch. The teachers, I didn't say this earlier, but there's going to be a teacher now. We've agreed we're going to be stationed. Miss Lee will be stationed at the Alamo. Miss Burns will be stationed along the way on the walking tour. Mr. Gonzalez and Miss Diaz-Wu will be at the park to support cleanup and management of students at the park. And I will be at the restaurant for handing out meals. And Miss Morales will be in El Mercado, walking around. So every space that you go to, there will be a teacher assigned. And all of this will be written for you and provided to you in advance in writing. So yeah, so teachers will be there to kind of monitor as well. But yeah, so that's part 1 is the Alamo. Part 2 is the El Mercado. Part 3 is lunch at Mi Tierra. Mi Tierra lunch, but we're going to eat it in the park. And the walking tour is really where you come into play, where you're going to be you won't be with everyone. So at the Alamo, you're going to see orange shirts everywhere because everybody's going to kind of be there in your buses around the same time. And then we're going to slowly encourage you to trickle out of the Alamo. And then the same at El Mercado. But when you're in your walking tour is where I want to spend a lot of the time. And so I think right now I'm going to take some time. I might run out of time actually, to talk about the walking tour. So any questions about the order? It's you start at one place, you walk to the other place, and you eat lunch in the middle. That's really pretty much what's happening.
Do you have one more question for you? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Lunches for chaperones. I presume we're purchasing our lunches there. How does that work?
So there's going to be enough lunches for chaperones, but you are the only people you can purchase a lunch if you don't want it.
Okay, but lunches we are already accounted for in the lunch count, so we can just grab and go as well.
You can grab and go as well. Yes.
Even better. Thank you.
Yes. But I wanted to let you know you can order, if you wanted to. You may have kids who picked up a lunch or brought lunch from home who don't want a lunch, at Mi Tierra for whatever reason. So that'll be okay too. They don't have to take the lunch, but they must eat. So we do need to make sure the students eat.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You can grab and go.
Ms. Holmes?
Mm-hmm.
I have a specific question regarding the lunch.
Yes.
Okay? So I understand there is some cheese quesadilla, bean and rice. So for kids who are vegetarian, usually beans are cooked in chicken stock or beef stock.
Yeah.
So is that specification taken care of, or I just wanted to know ahead.
Right now they're non-vegetarian beans.
They're not vegetarian. Okay, non-vegetarian. Okay.
The rice and the quesadilla will be vegetarian.
Okay, but they're all packed together in one meal.
Well, they'll be like like
container.
a container. The beans will be in a container, the rice will be in a container, and the like little small, like, like a concept.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so they're all
Yeah.
separated in a
They'll
bag.
be
Okay,
separated, yeah.
okay,
They'll be separated within the bag.
okay. That's
Mhm.
good to know because some kids, they don't eat the bean that is cooked in bean
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
So,
I didn't know. I'm gonna clarify that at my meeting with the kids tomorrow,
okay.
Wednesday. I'm gonna use the words, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? You guys can, because it's hard for me to, I see the hands, I don't know who, so you can just unmute.
Hi, Ms. Holmes. Just a quick question. For chaperones to recognize the students, are we allowed to take a picture of them so we would know who the students are that's in our group?
So that's a great question. You are definitely allowed to take pictures of the students. You're going to be encouraged actually to take pictures. It helps with with creating a more familial experience. A lot of the pictures you see from that get shared from field trips were from chaperones. And so yes, you use them. Now, we have to be mindful about posting pictures of other people's kids in our public social media networks. Of course, that's not something I do that because I have access to who has permissions to post. And so I don't have any students, I don't think in 7th grade that don't have that clearance. But in other grades, I have students that don't have photo clearance, and I would not acknowledge that. I will let the chaperone know, but chaperones do take pictures. They share. We're going to talk about a space. I'll probably have to email this about where we're going to share these pictures. But yes, I mean, Sarah, you unmuted. You might want to add something to that.
I would recommend maybe doing a group photo at the beginning, that you have that, and then you needed to reference someone, you were off count, you could look back to the group photo.
Okay, thank you
Yeah,
so
that's
much.
a good idea. Thank you. Ms. O'Brien, I do see your hand here on my screen.
Sorry, I thought I'd taken that down. My
Oh, okay.
apologies.
That's okay. So you guys can unmute anytime. So let's
Miss-
go ahead.
Hi, Miss Holmes. I just
Hi.
want to, hi, I sent you email several times to see if my name is on the list or not.
Yes, that's what we were going. I said just come to this meeting because I miss Bonin. Can you confirm Zhao? I think, is this the same Zhao?
I don't think so. I didn't see my name on, no, it's different one.
What's your child's name?
Jessica Jackson. It's a
Okay.
bus number 2. I saw it.
Okay, so you think Jessica's on group 2?
Yes,
This is
yes.
not a problem. It's actually a good problem.
Yes, group 2, I think. Bus number 2, group 2, I believe.
Oh, right here. Okay. I
Yeah,
see
group
it right
8,
here.
yes.
Okay.
Did you sign up on the sign up genius?
Yes, I'm the number 19th on the sign up.
What is your so maybe I assigned the wrong student to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah, maybe.
Your last name is Zhao, and I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I just assigned.
I didn't have a student listed in the
Yeah.
comment
That's what it was.
on the list.
Okay, so let me fix this then. I'll have to fix that. That's what happened. So this is you. This is you, bus 4. But I didn't have a student name on the list, and I made an assumption, and that's you're not supposed to do that.
But Alan is not my name.
Well,
sorry.
he has this.
Okay.
His last name is the same as yours.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, that was the only student I had with that last name.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't change my last name.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So we will get that fixed. So what it is this is you. So I'm going to have to get Jessica in this group and switch a kid out.
And can you please change the name to my real name?
What's your real
Song.
name? Oh, okay.
Zhao, the last name, Song, S-O-N-G is my first name. Song is my first name, right?
Oh, okay. What is, because I use the parent's last name on this list.
Yeah, the last name is Zhao, Z-H-A-O.
Okay, yes, that's.
Yeah, and the Song is my last name.
First.
Oh, first name, sorry.
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
Yeah.
So yes, I haven't missed out. I'm going to move Jessica to group 22 and move a student out of group 22.
Okay.
Probably Alan. Okay, so that you will be group 22. And
Okay, thank you very much.
Jessica will move to group 4. I was going to I wrote my notes, but I'll take the time before I make a mistake doing it.
Take your time.
Yeah, so I will make that change.
Thank you.
Thank you for getting that fixed. Yeah, so there we go. That's taken care of.
Can I quickly ask,
Yes.
what group am I assigned to?
Okay, I think I saw you. Group 5.
Okay,
Group 5, bus 1.
thank you.
All righty. So we are here. We've gotten, so let's talk about, so pickup, well, essentially you're going to get picked up at a different location than you got dropped off, so you don't have to walk back. That's the kind of key. Once you walk to the next location, you don't have to walk back. Your bus will pick you up. I've been in contact with the bus company. The Mercado is going to be they're not parking there, but they'll be easier for them to drop us off at that street along the highway on the Mercado. The Alamo, people getting dropped off at the Alamo, there may be a little bit of a walk to get to the Alamo before you get dropped off. So they won't be able to pull up exactly to the Alamo because of street closures. And so the Alamo is aware, they're working with us and the bus company, but we will get you as close as we can. So buses 1 and 2 to the Alamo. All righty, so let me get back to my agenda. Go ahead.
So kind of as an overview, just for a frame of reference, in previous years, what would happen was we would split the group in half and maybe 2 buses would go to the Alamo and then do different things and then we'd flip flop. But this year it's a little different because of the Fiesta celebration in San Antonio. And for that reason, we're really focused on the walking part of the trip because this year the groups will be, your group will be with you, the chaperone, kind of going through this walking tour on your own, but still, other groups will be kind of around you, but we won't be releasing by bus like we have in previous years due to the crowd.
Yes. So let me go to what Ms. Bonner. Can y'all still see my screen? Y'all seeing walking tour? So I'm going to actually put these in the links in the chat. So if you want to kind of follow along, you can. I feel, this might be, I feel comfortable. The first one is the Alamo to the, I'm gonna, the first one is the group that's buses 1 and 2 start at the Alamo. And then the second one is groups, really they're kind of the same. I mean, if you're, it's all essentially the same direction. But so I'm going to share my screen. I want to talk through what I saw, because to me, this is where you're going to make your magic. So this is the part that we need to spend as much time as possible, kind of getting people the opportunity to dig around. And so as she just described, that's what's different. We're not moving in a big group. Thank you to Miss Doolittle for letting us know that Fiesta is in town and we didn't get surprised by this. So she gave us enough time to really rethink how we move and how we function. And so because there is going to be more, it's going to be more lively, it's going to be more people there, that we decided that smaller groups is safer. Smaller groups is just the safer way to go. It's hard in a big group to have 30, 40, 50, 60 kids trying to stay together. So we're going to move in a small group. So if you can take the time, I'm going to share my screen now and click on one of the Google Maps. Well, I'll do this first, informative. I'm going to look at the informative sheet. You will have all of this printed in your packet. If you can find the informative PDF, if you can find that on the chat, and if you're recording, we're going to have it emailed again. These are the high points you're going to try to hit on our walking tour. The tour it says about 1.5 miles, less than 1.5 miles really, but a mile, 1.2 to 3. And we're walking from the Alamo to the Mercado. That's essentially what we're doing, or vice versa. Along the way, of course, we're going to see the Alamo. And while the students are in the Alamo, they're going to have a handwritten paper and pencil lesson that they're going to have to do. So you're just encouraging them to look at things, you've all taken middle schoolers to a museum. Middle schoolers are not the best museum goers because they want to go fast. So I'm encouraging you to keep them to slow down, to read the things on the walls, to maybe stop and look at some of the short videos that are playing, but really get the most out of the Alamo visit. So the Alamo is a stop, and that's where you're going to spend the longest amount of time outside of on the walking tour. And then we're going to go to the La Villita Historic Arts Village. I'm going in order from the Alamo to the Mercado, but if you're starting at the Mercado, you're going backwards. The La Villita is, from what I understand, it's more than one building. It's an area, lots of small shops and things. And again, we cannot predict exactly what it's going to be looking like, but we just took 6th graders to Rice University, and the 6th grade parents did what you're doing. They had about an hour and a half of the students in a small group by themselves. No one was around. And so each chaperone kind of took it upon themselves to create a wonderful experience for their students. Some chaperones asked questions of the people walking by, and some of them asked the people who worked in the library questions to kind of show kids how to get more out of the experience. And so what you do here in each of these spaces is up to you. If your kids are interested in the shop, it's okay to stay there a little bit longer. Take pictures of them along the way. So you want to kind of try to bring life into the walking tour. And so these two are kind of in the same space, the La Villita Historic Art Village, the little church of the La Villitas. And then we're going to go to the main plaza. Okay, and I'm not going to get into it because I really feel excited because I've already done the reading and the research. And so truthfully, I think I'm really going to encourage you to take some time, even though we're going to get a printout, we're going to give you a printout of this, read it ahead of time. Look at some things on the internet. Maybe there's some cool, fun facts about it that you might want to share with your small group. Look around, get to know the space. Cathedral of San Fernando. This is where a teacher is going to be stationed here. So when you get here, that's kind of your checkpoint. Okay, I'm doing good. I'm making it. My children are still with us. There's going to be a science lesson all about erosion and looking at signs of erosion and weathering on all the old buildings along the walking tour. So that's what they're going to be doing on the walking tour. So this is one piece. I'm not going to go through all of them. Again, this is in the order that they're going to be shown. And then you're passing by. The Governor's Palace is something that maybe next time we go to San Antonio, we actually go in and we tour. It costs $3 and we're just, this is new. We've never done it, but you're passing by, you're looking at the architecture, you're looking at how this thing is old. You're having discussions about how does it withstand. Some of these beautiful historic buildings are on roads that just, people are passing by in their Teslas, So it's something worth having a conversation about the longevity of these buildings. And then now that's the end. So these pieces, the Governor's Palace, Main City Hall, San Fernando Cathedral, Main Plaza, the La Villitas, those are the on the way stops. Okay, so that's the on the way stops. And then when you get to, then you're at Millen Park / Market Square. Okay, so that's the end, if that makes a little bit of sense. So the first map, I do not like this map. I don't subscribe to this map. I don't think this map is helpful because this map is like a car. And so you don't really have to stay on the road. If you look at this map, I don't know if you guys can see. Can you see how, is my cursor showing?
Yeah.
Okay, if you look here, this map has you on the street, but there's a beautiful river walk going the same direction.
Right.
So we want them on the river walk. Go down, get on the river walk, as opposed to staying on the main street. Instead, and then crossing over, use the river walk as much as possible. So let me go back to the Google. So what I did here, so that's from GPS My City. And then now we have a Google map. I don't know if I can share this with the Gmail, if somebody has their own Gmail and I can share the map with them. I'm still kind of new to this. If that can be the case, I would be happy to share. If you have a Gmail, if people know how to do that, like I can share this map. So all I did was link it, but somebody said that maybe people can put it on their phones.
Mhm.
And so I took, this is just me. This is not from a service. This is just me staring at the computer, looking at the places we want to go see and coming up with the potential walking tour and trying to give you the best version of what, a good version of what paths you can take. So if you know the places you want to hit, the target places you want to hit, truthfully, you have the grace to make the experience your own. We just want to make sure the kids get back from their starting point to their end point safely and that they hit those target points. And so what I would suggest you do is take the little guy at the bottom over here, the little, when you get to the Google, take the little guy and just get some quiet time and move him. That's how I kind of move him onto the street to give you a little bit of visual of what it might look like. So for instance, I moved him here. You can see in the corner, it's kind of telling me where I am on my map. And that tells me, oh, there's a walking path down there to get to the Riverwalk. Thank you. And so I really recommend chaperones before Friday, take that Google map that I sent and to see if I click here, he's moving down there. He's kind of moving. I think I'm going the wrong way actually, but he's kind of moving and it gives me an idea of what to expect. What might I see? What am I looking for? As opposed to kind of just, you know, I really want to encourage everybody to take a look on their own before they come. So for instance, this map is a little more, it's a little more, like the other map was just straight left and right. This map is saying, hey, start at the Alamo, go down that first street, Alamo Street, which some people may cross over and go down this part of the river walk. But you're trying to get here to the La Villita Historic Village. You want to go to the Alamo, then you want to get to La Villita. You may stay on Alamo Street, turn right, you know, or you may get across the street and then walk the river walk a little bit and then come out. So I think your enthusiasm for the trip, your feelings about the trip are going to feel, this is me, this is La Villita. I just dropped the guy in the La Villita. And so now I'm getting a better idea of what I'm going to see. This is La Villita Street. What now, clearly this is not Fiesta because nobody is out here. I think that's the church there that we wanted them to stop and look at. And there's going to be shops, stalls, things happening along the way that we want them to see and just explore and discover. And so I'm moving along. I'm always going the wrong way. See, there's a little sign here. So I really suggest that every chaperone take the time to learn the path, the best path. Google Maps is a little bit neat in that way and how it can kind of give us a way. Look, I'm just clicking. I get lost, so excuse me. I get kind of excited about it, but what am I doing? Maybe go back. So I really encourage you you can use this map exactly as you see fit. It will be printed. Ms. Bonin asked me to give a bigger printout. I've figured out a way to make it like a whole page printed for this map. You will get a printed copy of this map. You will get a printed copy of all of the layout, all of the different highlighted points of where you want to go. But that alone is that won't maybe give you that excitement that we hope you have. And you really want to dig in and get to know the space for yourself. Okay. And so I think I'm going to stop here and get some questions. And so just for this piece, we're going to really encourage you. Yes, you might see a few people up ahead of you and there may be a group behind you, but there may be a time when you're walking from the Alamo to the Market Square and you don't see any other groups, and that's okay. Okay, and that's okay. That if it's just you and your 7 kiddos, enjoying
Mhm.
the scenery, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, questions about the walking tour? Yeah.
I have a
Question.
question, Ms. Holmes.
Mhm.
Obviously kids are walking and what is the situation for water? Like they are carrying their own water bottles.
Great, great.
How do they refill if they have to stop in between? I'm like sure the weather is going to be warm. So, you know, how does that work?
Great question. So they are going to be asked to bring the kids are going to have to figure out their backpacks. Right now, they're focused. What they're asking us about: can we bring our DSs? Can we bring our Nintendo Switches? Can I? So these are all the questions that they're asking about what to carry. And so we're trying to restructure their minds and remind them that water is first, sunscreen, hat, sunglasses, walking shoes, layers. Some kids may want a sweater, but they need to be able to take it off. And so we asking them to bring a reusable water bottle so that they can refill it. But when they're going to have to carry it. So kids, we're really thinking that we should tell them, and maybe after talking to y'all, maybe I should tell them to bring a refillable water bottle and two, refills or something. Because when we're thinking when they get to the Alamo or to the historic market square, there will be opportunities for them to fill their water bottles. And of course, lunch. But as they walk, they really need to have their own, every child needs to have their own water bottle. And we haven't told them specifically bring a refillable water bottle and another refill. We haven't used that language, so maybe we can. But they're going to be carrying in their small backpack their water and any small snack that they want, their pencil, their pen, and their notes from for their assignment, and if they have their cell phone. And some of them, of course, for entertainment, they want to bring an iPad because they want to watch movies on the bus. But we're telling them that's at their own risk. They don't need their iPads. They don't need their Nintendo Switches. Those things are at their own risk, and we're not banning them because that is a long bus ride. But we're not going to be able to leave those on the bus. But water is going to be a good conversation. And maybe if y'all have some suggestions I can add to tell the kids, I can add that.
You may want to clarify exactly what type of water bottle to bring, because like I had the conversation about water bottles with Fran this morning, and he said, no, we are not allowed to bring our refillable water bottle. We have to bring disposable. They told us everything, it has to be disposable. So so this is a 13-year-old.
We're having some of that. So that's good to hear.
So that's what I was told this morning, because I was making the comment about, well,
yeah,
because I was also told we're not allowed to bring, I was also told we're not allowed to bring our regular backpacks because I was talking to him about condensation. And not wanting everything, because normally I would freeze the water bottle so it stays at least a little cold.
Yeah.
So I told him, well, then we won't ice the water so that we don't have condensation in your bag.
Yes. Well,
and then he said, well, we're not allowed to bring the plastic one in anyway. So
so
the interpretations are peculiar.
And we're going to, we're meeting on Wednesday. The teachers are not going to, I'm going to be with them giving their presentation. So you're helping me to make sure I clean this up. They can bring a backpack, a regular, but we want them to understand the choices, you have
to carry it. It's
they have to live with the choices that they make. So it's not that their regular backpack is banned, but we want them to consider something easy to carry, know, so that they won't be, because this just will ruin the whole thing if your back is hurt and you're walking around. And so we definitely want them to bring a reuse just in case, have something that can be filled up. But we haven't said that they cannot. I haven't said. So I'm going to clarify.
Who knows what? Yeah. Because the other thing I was told, which actually is what led to the whole condensation conversation, was because we were discussing electronic devices, and he said, well, we are going to be required to take pictures of XYZ.
Yes.
So he was cogitating on what device does he own that is appropriate to take pictures and be able to get it into Schoology.
Yes. So let me, if every parent is okay, I'm gonna move into that assignment that the teachers are posting. These are teacher assignments. Let me give you a look at what the Spanish assignment may look like. Y'all just let me know if it's not moving. My screen's not changing. So I've been talking with the teachers about, it's by group. So for instance, this is the Market Square assignment. And she doesn't want 7 in a group. She wants them to split their social studies groups into even smaller groups. What is your group number? What is your group name? This doesn't require pictures, but it does require a device. So the hope is that at least 2 to 3 kids in every group has a small cell phone. We were thinking cell phones would be the best, and though they're not the best, but they're not heavy, the kids are going to bring them anyway. I don't want to encourage iPads and things, but I don't want to ban them. So we're going to talk about that. So these are all kind of just answering questions. What items do you see in the store? These items are likely reflect American stereotypes and culture. Listed these 5 items. These coming from Miss Lee. And so this one is asking them to upload photos of the items. So the kids are correct. There are a few questions that will ask them to upload photos of the items. Now, what Miss Lee said is that what they can do is take the photos on a picture. This can be uploaded at any time. This can be uploaded later. And so if we're having a situation where a kid doesn't have all the tools and tech, but somebody has a phone to take a picture, then that's fine. But we don't want the kids focusing on their technology. So as their chaperones, you do have to kind of make sure they're not scrolling on Instagram or creating TikToks. But so we want you to be aware of what they have to do. And there is lessons that show the ask them to upload photos. Okay. And that was Spanish at the Mercado. So there's a lesson at the Alamo, there's a lesson at the Mercado, and then this one is along the way. So all they're doing here is just uploading evidence of physical weathering, chemical weathering. She's talking to them about this in class, and 3 pieces of surface water, groundwater, uses, transportation, recreation, and structural. Hey, sweetie. So for science along the way, they will have to upload pictures. But again, I asked the teachers to be flexible here so that if kids just took some pictures and then when they got back to class or got back home, they were able to upload them, so that it won't slow the tour down. Like say you're walking and they're just taking pictures, then they can come back later and upload them. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm like, wow, I'm echoing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
my concern is if the teachers are expecting them to be able to upload while they're going, depending on what's going on in the group. You may have, like, my kid's got a flip phone and he's got a device that only has Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So
I think I feel too that would be cumbersome and maybe annoying. So, but they can still take the pictures, maybe a group member has their phone and then they can have some time in class when they get back to finish the assignment.
Yeah, my concern is just that, like, the assignment isn't going to be due at 9 o'clock that night when they may not have had.
Right. They just need to know. They just need to know what they're looking for and know what the questions are, and then So I'm going to get some clarification on that and make sure that we're not adding stress to the walk or to the experience by them, because they will be stressing out.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
But any thoughts on allowing the kids to bring plastic bottles to refill their reusable bottle?
I have a thought. So if they end up bringing those plastic bottles, then it's the question, how many do they carry in their backpack, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I should tell specifically, right?
Yeah, and refillable is good because once they fill it at home, then they refill it. But then what is the source of the refill? Like when they're walking along, I haven't seen, we have been to San Antonio, but I haven't seen any water fountains, many of those. And is that water safe to drink and things like that?
That's what makes me think, just tell them to give them a number. I might say 2. If you come with a full bottle and 2 up to 2, 1 to 2
Yeah,
refills.
two is yeah,
2,
it makes
yeah.
sense.
Because somebody might try to do 5 or something. And maybe as
Yeah.
chaperones, maybe weekend chaperones can put a couple of, not too many, because again, you're carrying, if all the chaperones can bring a few water bottles, you never know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And Miss Holmes, please tell them that if your parent is chaperoning, they're supposed to carry their own backpacks.
Oh, yeah.
Parents are not going to carry if they end up taking too much load in the backpack. They
Yeah,
don't take it for granted. So
that is good. Yes, you are carrying your own items.
yes,
Even
please.
if your mom is on the trip, you're carrying your own.
Yes, because you know, kids
Yes,
might
so-
get
and speaking of chaperones, we're gonna, as I'm kind of taking notes and things to kind of write in one more comprehensive email, because this is still not, I always like things in writing, but we're encouraging you to wear orange as well. You don't have GTA 7 shirts, and maybe that's not a good color for you. I don't know, but the kids are going to be wearing orange shirts. And the orange, I've been sending the kids, are like, which kind of orange? I said, go to Hobby Lobby and get orange shirt from Hobby Lobby. They're like $2.99. And let me show you, like this kind of orange. And so we're asking them, even if they didn't have a GT Academy shirt, if they could just grab one of these from Hobby Lobby, so that we all be loud and proud walking around San Antonio together.
so for chaperones, can they wear the same orange, any kind of, not just
Yes.
t-shirt, but any
Any kind, like a
full-
sweater.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay.
Encouraging chaperones to wear orange as well to match the kids. You don't have to wear a Hobby Lobby shirt, but yes, any kind of orange.
Thank you.
Okay.
Where am I? I think so. I think the biggest thing, chime in, Sarah. I think as we're closing is
Mhm.
I'm kind of losing my stop. Okay. I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we had gone over the San Antonio walking tour and then lunch. Just know that if you're on bus 3 and 4, you'll be doing the walking tour at the second after lunch. So for bus 3 and 4, the schedule is a little reversed for the middle portion. And then we will get picked up at different points from where you were dropped off.
Sorry, Miss Holmes. Will that list be sent to us?
So
The group list, like
I don't
which bus and group?
usually
Yeah.
send an email of the whole kids rosters out. I don't know, just for security purposes.
Okay, I understand.
But you will, yeah. Usually I don't. You'll get it printed when you get here.
Okay,
But,
that's fine. That's fine.
yeah.
So
But
you will get.
I wanted to tell you which bus and things you're on, so I can do that.
I think it's 3, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Popori?
I think I can do what bus assignment and group number you are, and email that out to all staff.
Yeah, that's good enough. Yes,
And the
thank you.
student names will leave for when you get here on paper.
So chaperones, when you get to the school on Friday at 6:30 and you get to the room, you will be given a packet with, similar to the children, you will be getting a packet that states all the students that are in your group, as well as your bus number, as well as all of the things she stated would be in the packet. The walking tour information and all the different sites.
Okay. Bring mine with you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there will be places to purchase water all along the way. I mean, we're not going to West Texas
Yeah.
market where you're out in the desert. I don't think anybody's gonna, dehydrate. And fall
We won't.
down. Yeah.
But because what we did is we made it on Austin, they left their items on the bus, and so we were not making that mistake again. They're taking their stuff with them. So kids left their water on the bus, so we kind of ran into a water issue. And so luckily we're communicating to kids, you're taking it with you this time. So I think we'll be in a better situation. And
Right.
speaking of purchasing, kids are free to purchase. We want to be just, I think you're their kind of like mom and dad when they're there. So if someone's mom gave them, $50 and they're like, if they're being, I don't know, you can't tell them what not to do, but just be mindful and watch some of the purchases along the way, like, because kids will have money. Okay,
Yes.
so they will have money. We are going to the market square. They're going to be picking up cute little items for their siblings and families, things that, they're excited when they go into the market. My first time was like, wow, now that I've been so many times, I'm used to it. But my first time, I always remember how colorful and exciting it was. So they are permitted to shop. So you just kind of help them mind their money and pay attention to their change and things like that. But for the most part, the goal is for you as the chaperones to enjoy your time as well. I'm going to be sending an email with the GroupMe. GroupMe is an app. If you could, chaperones, go ahead and download that app for the sake of this trip. I know some people use WhatsApp as a preferred method, but we've been using GroupMe, GroupMe app. And so I'm going to create a GroupMe group with chaperones and teachers only. And then we're going to have a GroupMe with all the parents on there, including chaperones. And we use that to tell them, hey, we made it to Buc-ee's, or that's where chaperones may post a few pictures. But last time we kind of had parents who were home begging for pictures, and we're going to be careful about that because priority is safety, not the parents' picture. But like maybe even I might have y'all post them post pictures in the chaperone group, and I can transfer them over. That might be what I'll do.
Okay.
And so be on the lookout for the chaperone GroupMe. Join the GroupMe links. And so we're going to open that chaperone up one first. So y'all can join that starting as soon as you get the link, and we can start answering questions in there. So whatever, if you come up with a question tomorrow, ask it in the GroupMe. If you come up with a question on Wednesday, ask it in the GroupMe. So we can start communicating early.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and download that GroupMe app on your phones and look for the link in the email.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
I was just gonna kind of, I thought of something real quick, just to reiterate, whatever you take off that bus is gonna be with you the rest of the day. So dress comfortably, bring sunscreen, a hat, obviously at least 2 water bottles, wear your orange, wear comfortable shoes. I would suggest, possibly, we are not aware of exactly how many plugs are on the bus. So if you think you might run out of battery, it might be a wise choice if you have a charger, a portable charger you could bring that's small, that might be handy. I think that's it. Oh, maybe a first aid kit. Like if you have a couple kids, you want to make your own like baggie. I mean, you never know when somebody might get a blister or something. So I would just suggest that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, again, thank you guys. Honestly, it really matters. We cannot do this without you. It's not like just words. It's a fact.
Thank you. Looking
Thank
forward.
you.
No, thank you, Ms. Bonin and Ms. Holmes. This
Yes.
meeting was really, really informative. And not last but least, I have one more question. Does these charter buses have a restroom? Usually, I have chaperoned before for DI tournaments, so they do have a small restroom in the back just for kids, who really need to go or something. So do they have that in this buses?
They do have the restroom. I don't know what it is. I guess maybe because we're going to the restroom before and then we get to the Buc-ee's. We haven't had a lot of action in the restrooms, but there will be restrooms.
Okay, just,
It's
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
There will be restrooms.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys. So we will see you Friday. Check the email for the GroupMe link to join. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Miss
you.
Donna, you want to stay on for
Bye.
a split second?
Bye.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.